The management of Ramco Cements, we have the CMD, Mr. P.R.Venketrama Raja, who's joining us right now on the phone line. Mr. Raja, good morning, and really appreciate you giving us your time on ET. Now, the floods have reached a significant and a severe status as has been given by the centre itself. Tell us, for Ramco Cements, what has been the on-ground assessment? Any projects of yours that have been derailed on account of the floods? And how exactly is Ramco Cements going ahead and helping rebuild Kerala?
So Ramco Cements, actually it is one of our biggest markets for our cement in the south. And we have been working with the government. We met the Chief Minister and assured him of all help, and we've also contributed to the Chief Minister's Relief Fund in a significant way. And in equal amount, we are actually working in a lot of relief camps excessively for the last 2 weeks. Actually, last 2-3 weeks, we've been working with various camps to make sure that the relief measures are given, and we are working through our dealership network and so on, and doing whatever we can to make sure that we can give immediate relief to the people. Long-term relief is a different story, but as of now, we are only focusing on the immediate relief.
Right, sir. So this is Vivek joining in from the research team. So, the one thing which I wanted to understand is if you could give us a broad sense of how much percentage of your revenues comes in from Kerala. And, the subsequent question is, in your meetings with the Chief Minister, has there been any sort of a timeline as to, what kind of rebuilding activities would be happening? And, what is it exactly that they are looking to rebuild, and how would Ramco be participating in this particular process?
I'm not able to give you the exact percentage of revenues, but we have the largest market share in Kerala of all the cement plants. Basically, we are more dominant in the southern Kerala markets, where there have been significant damages too, though we also have markets in the north of Kerala. And the Chief Minister at that time when we met, he was more concerned about the immediate relief efforts. Basically, he said, you are planning to reach out to corporates like you. We will call you later so that we can discuss the longer term plans on how to go about rebuilding the state. But I think as of now, the focus is to make sure that the people who are stranded, the people who have been rendered homeless and are in relief camps and all that, are given the best possible support so that they can come back to normalcy in the next few weeks before we start thinking about the longer term issues. I think that's what his focus also was.
Well, yes, of course, priority is, of course, saving maximum lives, evacuating people, and then rebuilding Kerala, of course, would be a longer-term goal for everyone, all stakeholders at this point of time.
As of now, we're all focusing on only the immediate,
Of course, and we really appreciate all the efforts that is being put, at this point of time for a state that really needs our help. Mr. Raja, I would also like to ask you about the trends that you are witnessing, seeing that you are one of the largest players in South India in the cement space. What sort of volume trends have you been witnessing?
It's been fairly flat, actually, in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And basically, over the last 2-3 months, given the monsoons, of course, the markets have been down in Kerala. And Tamil Nadu is just recovering from all the political issues and all that over the last year or so. It is just stabilizing back again. So we hope to see some difference in the coming months. But as of now, it is just flat here, the markets here. And prices are, of course, still under pressure, given the overproduction in the south.
So, if we're talking about the last couple of years, there's been some amount of incremental addition in capacity in all parts of India and even in the south to a certain extent. So what I want to understand is, of course, the seasonal impact is there this particular quarter. But going forward, do you think that players like yourself can gain some amount of pricing power, especially given the fact that Tamil Nadu has been recovering slightly? A lot of brokerages have also said that pricing is something that has disappointed quite a bit, especially in South India. So do you think that you can get some amount of pricing power back?
That is difficult to say because there are many players and in the market, and different players behave differently and given their own complexion. So it is difficult to say whether the prices will come up or not. But I think markets will have to demand will have to pick up at least by another 5-10% if prices are supposed to stabilize. At this rate, I think it will be a little more difficult to pick up prices.
Your capacity utilization, sir, how does that stand at this point?
In the south, utilization is still not that great, though our utilization from our company is good because we have significantly expanded our markets in the south using our Andhra Pradesh plants and so on. So our utilizations have gone up over the last year, as you would have seen in our results in the last quarter. But we still have another 15-20% more of a capacity which is idle. But people who are landlocked and who are mainly focused in the south, the utilization will be slightly lower, maybe 60-70% periods, because the markets are still have to grow. The supply is very huge compared to the market demand.
So in terms of incremental demand, so which segment of trade are you expecting demand to come back from? Is there any amount of government construction activity that is happening due to which you're seeing some amount of demand push? Or if you could put it in short for us, where do you expect demand to revive from, especially in the south? From which segment do you think you'd be able to get some amount of volume push?
See, I think the biggest demand growth has definitely been in Telangana, Andhra. Given it was very, very low before, it's come back to normalcy after many years. Given the amount of work the governments have been putting in building houses and housing schemes and irrigation and so on. So it's basically the government spending which has really improved the demand in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh and so on. And generally in the south, I think it's the building real estate industry, especially in Tamil Nadu, still has not fully picked up. So the demand there is still lukewarm. So mainly it will be the rural areas. If the agriculture picks up and the income picks up there, we see some significant improvement there. And now with Kerala, with the tragic floods and so on and so forth, I'm sure there will be some more demand there. But a lot of the demand we may have to support the government, giving more concession prices and so on, because we can't exploit the situation. So the whole situation is still fluid, but we hope at least we can hold on to what we have been doing so far.
So one last question, of course, this is a government regulation that's come in. So the government has been making a lot of, regulations as far as usage of pet coke within Indian industries is concerned. We understand that the cement industry so far has not been impacted by the ban of usage of pet coke in the making of cement. But most likely it appears as though, due to pollution concerns, the pet coke may be banned. So in that case, what is the percentage of usage of pet coke in your particular cement plants, and what would be the alternate fuel that you would use, because most of the other fuels we understand are slightly more expensive in the fuel mix?
It's important to understand that the pet coke, basically they are saying is pollutant because of the sulfur content in the pet coke. But when it's used with in the cement kilns and with limestone, actually all the sulfur gets absorbed. So actually when you use it in cement plants, the amount of pollution is actually the best use of pet coke is in cement production. So that is why even the Supreme Court has exempted cement production from not using pet coke, but basically they've banned the use of pet coke on power plants, which is what we were also using. Now we're all shifting towards coal and other plants, so which will definitely increase our prices, our costs by a fair amount, but that we will have to manage by making sure that we are more efficient in other ways and so on. But the long term, pet coke can continue to be used in cement plants, is what I feel. Yeah.
Mr. Raja, since we don't get to talk to you very often, I'm just going to try and squeeze in one quick question from you, and that is about your expansion plans, organic and more importantly inorganic, because a lot of cement companies are currently, referred to the IBC. So I really want to understand if you're going to actively participate in any M&A activity.
Yeah, we have been bidding in many of these plants, but the point is, our bids have never been, at the top end. Because I think we are far more conservative in our bidding, and we actually look for, returns, reasonable rate of returns. And I don't think our balance sheet can support such large bets, which other bigger companies can do. So that way we will actively keep looking to see if there's anything reasonable coming in our way, in an inorganic way. In organic way, it's our usual expansions of making sure that our the markets where we are strong is growing, and And we have announced some grinding plants in the east and so on. And then we're also adding some clinker line to support those grinding plants. So that is a normal expansion, which we will continue to grow about 10-15% a year. So that by 2020, we hope to be at least 30-40% more capacity increasing than what it is now. Yeah.
So you are going to look, but not very aggressively, as long as it does ensure you are disciplined when it comes to your, your balance sheet. Mr. Raja, once again, I really appreciate you giving us your time right here on ET Now. We also appreciate all the efforts that you have taken to essentially take that first step to rebuild Kerala. And we thank you so much for that, as well as for giving us your time on ET Now. And we hope that we can speak with you once again very soon in the near future. All the very best, sir.
Thank you very much, and it's a privilege talking to you. Thank you very much.
The pleasure is ours, sir. Thank you.